Congresswoman Ilhan Omar striking again, fresh off of the anti-hate resolution in the House, first going after late Senator John McCain after his daughter Meghan said this.
And just because I don't technically have Jewish family that are blood related to me, it doesn't mean I don't take this as seriously. And it is very dangerous, very dangerous. And I think we all collectively as Americans on both sides, and what Ilhan Omar is saying is very scary to me, and it's very scary to a lot of people. And I don't think you have to be Jewish to recognize that.
So then the freshman Democrat retweeted an Al Jazeera host who said this: Meghan's late father literally sang "Bomb, bomb, bomb Iran," and insisted on referring to his Vietnamese captors as blank. He also, lest we forget, gave the world Sarah Palin, he wrote. So a little less faux outrage over a former refugee turned freshman representative, please. Now, Omar has also made some negative comments about former President Barack Obama. Politico summarized her comments this way, quote, Omar says the hope and change offered by Barack Obama was a mirage, recalling the caging of kids at the U.S.-Mexico border and the droning of countries around the world on his watch. She argues that the Democratic president operated within the same fundamentally broken framework as his Republican successor, and when it came to his policy on drone attacks, likened him to a pretty face who, quote, got away with murder. Here now, Tammy Bruce, president of the Independent Women's Voice and Fox News contributor. Robert Zimmerman, Fox is Democratic strategist and DNC member. Great to have both of you with us tonight.
Good to be with you this evening.
Let's jump in here with the Meghan McCain back and forth. Tammy, let me give you the first crack at that. Sure. Meghan McCain obviously was very upset about all of this on The View, and then you saw the back and forth that ignited.
Yeah, and I think this is for not just Jewish Americans or the children of Holocaust survivors, but Americans in general. We have a history that is relatively recent, where those kinds of remarks and that attitude has led to massive atrocities. And we've always wondered, when we didn't have a backstory or that we could have imagined what it might lead to, we now know what it leads to. We wondered, how could you have that kind of attitude, and where could it ultimately take a civilization, a great civilization, European civilization? And yet now we know. So I don't think she was overreacting. I disagree with Meghan on a few things, but I do think that this is a realistic perspective here about a member of Congress who is issuing a point of view that terrifies many people around the world because of the end result of that point of view.
I've devoted a good part of my life to fighting anti-Semitism, working through B'nai B'rith, American Jewish Congress, my synagogue, standing up to hate crimes and harassment and the assault on the Jewish community and what it represents. And so that's why the House resolution was so important and so critical. And that's why I think it was critical to stand together and make it clear that the assault on the Jewish community, repeating of hateful Jewish tropes, repeating of anti-Semitic rhetoric, is very much in common with the hate against the Muslim community, very much in common with the attacks on the Hindu and Sikh community and the Catholic community. We're all together in this battle. And the fact that it was the strongest one of the strongest anti-Semitic resolutions condemning anti-Semitism ever passed in the Congress is very important. Because the resolution
didn't name her, it didn't call her out. She obviously isn't,
because
she's not affected by it because she went right back in there today and started.
But the truth is, we're all impacted by that resolution because it says that we're all in this battle together to fight.
I just don't know what that does. I don't know what that accomplishes.
What it does, it says to the Catholic community, the people, diverse people of different color in our country, the Black and Hispanic community.
Hate is bad. Who doesn't know that?
But the point is this: we're all in this battle together, right. And that's the matter. We all fight. We have to fight together to condemn hate speech.
Right. What about her comments about Barack Obama, to which I should say that she has now responded? She said that the reporter distorted her words and that she is an Obama fan.
Well, there's an audio tape, apparently, of some of those remarks, and they were clear, and that's what she said. But I would also suggest that the point here of what I think the House was trying to do was to keep this from becoming and remaining a circus. But as we've seen, the resolution clearly meant nothing to the woman who prompted it, effectively Representative Omar.
But it makes so much more, Tammy.
Bob, let me just finish, please. Clearly, it didn't stop anything. And this is going to continue. It will not end. It'll be lather, rinse, and repeat every other day. Now, the people of her district deserve representation. The Republicans removed Steve King from every committee, making his impact irrelevant in the Congress.
They removed Steve King after 10 years of advocating white supremacy and hateful rhetoric.
This is
the point I'm making to you, though,
well,
that's
he was
critical.
named and he was pulled off of his committees. And those are the two things that I think a lot of people feel ultimately, and you can certainly criticize that it took too long, but that has teeth. The issue here is that it looks like she and her group are winning, Bob.
No, quite the contrary. This is not a partisan game of one winning or the other. When you have the Congress, let me finish my point, Tammy.
Like it is
when we come together as a country, we come together. You see the Congress come together and condemn anti-Semitism, stand up to Islamophobia, and what it represents. And we're facing record increases of hate crimes against the Jewish community and the Muslim community throughout our country, and amongst other aspects of our society. Then it's important we stand together. Congress did that. That was Speaker Pelosi's leadership.
When I'm getting filibustered, and anybody gets filibustered on this issue, it is partisan on your end. And this is the problem. This is understood by all of us. This is not a partisan issue. There should be no disagreement about the nature of how this should have proceeded. Ms. Omar and Ms. Ocasio-Cortez were laughing in the process of this resolution as it was moving.
Tell me, Tammy, where's the Republican outrage over Donald Trump's anti-Semitic tropes?
The partisanship is right here just now.
No, it's about being fair and about holding all parties accountable.
It's
Where
not.
does Donald Trump
when he engaged in his
anti-Semitic rhetoric?
But I'm not sure that resolution moved anybody away from any of this.
Either we do this together, or we're going to either we fight together or we perish together. That's the options.
The Democratic Party is going to be the first one to perish if this doesn't get resolved.
It's not partisan.
Bob, Tammy,
it's got to be above
thank
partisanship.
You. Good to see you both tonight.
Good to be with you.
All right, so